Coming up, Iowa City's special election results for a vacant seat are in.
A funky and engaging jazz performance.
Iowa baseball opens up home play in a big way.
It's a windy week. I'll have the full forecast ahead.
All that and more
coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City. It is Wednesday, March 5th. I'm Grace Lathrop.
And I'm Dravin Murdy.
And the third member of our team, Karch Smith, is live here in the studio to tell us today's weather story.
Karch, we don't usually have weather inside, but it is a cold and wet one outside.
Thanks, guys. I'm lucky to be in the studio this morning. It's going to be a windy one with temperatures topping out in the upper 30s. And get ready to pack those CAN buses as snow is expected to fall throughout the morning with wind gusts potentially getting up to 50 miles an hour. Tonight, you can expect the rain to stop while temps dip into the low 20s. And tomorrow, the sun will try to peek through the clouds as temps will reach the mid to upper 40s. I'll have this weekend's forecast in a little bit, but for now, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Karch. And the special election for Iowa City's District C seat are in. In a sound win, Oliver Fellman defeated fellow candidates Russ Nusser to claim his seat on City Council. Whalen came away with over 60% of the votes.
A public measure to also tax Swisher, Iowa 1% for local and service taxes was accepted by voters as well. Supporters of Weiland came together to await the results last night. DITV's Kayla Smith attended the event and spoke with voters about why Weiland was the choice for them.
The small coffee shop erupted with applause as Oliver Weiland clinched the race for City Council District Seat C.
I think a lot of people needed this, not just because they believe in me, but because they believe in the message.
Weiland celebrated the night with some of his closest friends and supporters for an election night hangout to wait for the results to roll in.
I don't know, I just wanted to hang out with friends and have an environment where people can come and enjoy community with each other, you know?
Many of the attendees used this time to express their support and trust in Weiland and his platform.
I think really just down to earth, a really down to earth person who will do the right things for, you know, the people of Iowa City.
With the trans community being targeted, with immigrants being targeted, and I wanted someone who's going to be a vocal supporter and stand up for those communities.
But for many attendees, this was an opportunity to connect with other people in the community who share similar ideals.
I'd like to meet more people here. It's a good spot to promote what we're trying to do, I think.
With Weiland now a part of the council, his supporters are excited to see how he will continue working for residents.
Actually doing something tangible for homeless people could look like. I think that Oliver has a lot of great ideas around that.
Weiland is expected to begin his new role at the next City Council meeting on March 11th. From Kindred Coffee, Kayla Smith, DITV.
The election was an opportunity for people in Iowa City to express their thoughts for City Council.
DITV's Ryan Lynch is live at City Hall with the reactions of voters and non-voters towards the vacant seat.
Yes, guys, and Oliver Weiland will be joining City Council right behind me starting next week. And the special election gained much attention in Iowa City by both community members and students at the university.
Voters felt the significance that the special election brought for Iowa City. Some evening voters had to go through rainy conditions to get to their polling location before the polls closed at 8 o'clock.
It's an important local election. That's why we came out in the rain to vote in it.
Candidates got involved in the community with their campaigns and were able to make impressions on voters by showing support for the things that voters did care about.
I appreciated that Oliver came out for COGS when we were, which is the union that I'm a part of as a graduate instructor, and supported us as we were bargaining with the Board of Regents. That actually made a difference.
Some University of Iowa students didn't cast ballots for the election, but offer their insight on the types of candidates they like to vote for in general.
Probably morals, typically, like a candidate with good morals that align with my beliefs.
The character of the candidate, I mean, obviously their policies and stuff, and you got to have, morally right policies, but I tend to vote for a good person.
council special election was in last city council special election was in 2018, and another one may be held if another council member resigns before their term expires. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Ryan. And President Donald Trump took center stage last night with a speech to a joint session of Congress. DITV's news director Johnny Valtman has what President Trump pushed in his first address to the House and Senate.
Taking the stage for his first address to a joint session of Congress in his second term, President Donald Trump echoed similar objectives in his inauguration speech and the progress his administration has made.
That the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation.
Trump gloated over his executive orders shutting down the southern border and the other goals his administration are accomplishing or fighting for. Tension erupted early after Congressman Al Green from Texas was kicked out of the address after refusing to sit down and shouting at Trump.
That his budget calls for deep cuts in Medicaid. He needs to save Medicaid, protect it.
The president spoke about the economy, blaming the Biden administration for what he called a mess. In an attempt to fix it, Trump has proposed tax cuts for everyone, plans to balance the national budget, and implement even more tariffs.
And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth.
Despite antagonizing Democrats, Trump requested their help and support. From the University of Iowa, Johnny Valtman, DITV.
And the 2025 Iowa legislative session entered its first funnel week on Monday, March 4th.
Elizabeth Smith is live in the newsroom with what happens during this pivotal week.
Thanks, guys. Funnel Week is a very key deadline that narrows down the number of bills lawmakers can advance. These bills have to pass this week to remain eligible for the remainder of the session. Bills must pass through at least one full committee in either the Iowa House or Senate by Friday night. Tax-related and spending bills are exempt from the funnel deadline and can be introduced at any point during the session. Lawmakers in leadership positions have the ability to revive bills, such as by adding them as amendments to other pieces of legislation. By the end of the week, any bill that has not passed these requirements will be cut. And I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Liz. The University of Iowa Healthcare Medical Campus in North Liberty, Iowa has announced their official start date. The new medical campus will open on Monday, April 28th. It will have emergency, trauma, resuscitation, hazmat, and isolation rooms. The new campus will also house orthopedic-centered clinics, operating rooms, and an injury walk-in clinic. This will be the first new hospital facility constructed away from the university's campus.
The Johnson County Conservation Department audit shows alleged improper spending. The audit monitored the county's spending over the last 5 years, revealing over $63,000 of improper payments, of which $24,000 were unsupported payments. A copy of the report has been sent to the Iowa Attorney General's office, where it is currently under investigation.
As we inch closer towards summer, students around campus are looking for summer jobs and internships. DITV's Ryan Pears spoke to students in the Tippy College of Business's Hawkinson Institute about what their process looks like.
Not all college schedules are created equal. For Hawkinson students already on an accelerated track to prepare them for careers in investment banking, the added pressure of trying to land an internship can become exhaustive. Like with any large time commitment, part of the deal for Hawkinson students is learning how to balance work, school, and life. From the moment students stepped foot on campus last fall, they began preparing for interviews through a combination of taking a specialized class, networking with alumni, and doing mock interviews. Interviewing season began in January after Hawkinson students returned from break, and then schedules intensified.
To start my Monday, I'd probably get up and check my phone, and I'd have like 4 or 5 new emails in my inbox from bankers.
In addition to having a regular college life, between interview prep and the calls themselves, it necessitates learning effective time management skills.
Rather than just like hanging out in the Biz Hub or scrolling on my phone, like
I would use this time to like send and reply to these networking emails and then maybe try and get down a tough concept that I've been learning.
The process goes on until students accept an offer from a bank that begins in the summer of 2026.
I would say this is very out of the ordinary, recruiting for something 18 months ahead of time, but it is something that you often see with investment banking roles.
For Hawkinson students, landing these internships is seen as the gateway into the industry.
But in my opinion, once you get that offer, it's all worth it.
And upon completing the program, 100% of Hawkinson students graduate from Iowa with full-time job offers. While some Hawkinson students have received offers, others are still in the thick of the interviewing season. From the Tibby College of Business, Ryan Paris, DITV.
And University of Iowa students came together to play some funky music.
Let's send it over to DITV's Liz Schultz, who attended a lively music performance with lots of audience engagement.
Thanks, guys. Earlier this week, the University of Iowa's music program put on an exciting performance highlighting Black tunes at the Voxman Music Building.
And we apologize for technical difficulties. We're going to play that package later, but for now, we're going to take a short break as we take a look at the rest of the week's forecast ahead.
And we'll have a Hawkeye Sports recap, preview, and more.
All that and more right after this break.
In Iowa City, history is being made every day. DITV is capturing it all. The future of our nation.
I'm here at Big Grove Brewery, where the Johnson County Democratic Party is hosting one of many
Wisconsin, which has been an influential county in American election history.
In Las Vegas, Nevada, where a few hours from now polls are going.
Historic careers.
And despite the slow start, the Hawkeyes still managed to get their first win of the season.
Disappointing night on the West Coast for the Iowa Hawkeyes, not just because of the loss.
For Iowa, defensively, they played a full 4 quarters, but offensively.
Student experiences.
I'm at the Ped Mall in downtown Iowa City, the center for nightlife.
I'm here at the Ped Mall, where Iowa City residents come downtown to celebrate a beloved Hawkeye tradition.
The Iowa City Animal Care and Adoption Center, where volunteers are working round the clock to get these animals adopted.
Politics, sports, and art. Local, state, and nationwide. In front of the camera, behind the scenes, DITV.
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 DITV Sports.
DITV
is capturing history.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in on thedailyiowan.com or listening on KRU I-89.7 FM.
Now we're going to go back out to DITV's Liz Schultz with her package about a funky music entertainment.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, but earlier this week, the University of Iowa's music program put on an exciting performance highlighting Black tunes at the Voxman Music Building. The University of Iowa's Black Pop Music Ensemble concert, directed by William Menefield, featured several pop and funk tunes throughout the decades.
We have a good time tonight. We love to funk this time, your phone.
The Black Pop Music Ensemble, known as BPM, has been rehearsing since the start of the spring semester and aims to showcase jazz, R&B, hip-hop, and funk songs. Ensemble bass player and university graduate student had the opportunity to select the group's tunes for this performance.
Over this past year and a half, Dr. Menefield has kind of ushered me into a direction of being a band leader and just directing an entire ensemble, making a set list. I actually made the entire set list for this concert.
Many other student voices were showcased during well-known songs, including Give Up the Funk by Parliament Funkadelic, Do I Do by Stevie Wonder, and Ladies Night by Kool and the Gang. Menefield and performers worked to engage audience members, encouraging them to clap, sing along, and dance in their seats as the music filled the performance venue. The goal of the concert was to create a feel-good atmosphere, one of many reasons why students in the group are passionate about BPM.
Really just having a place for that, being able to play, being able to learn it, learn the tropes, all of what actually goes into it. I just love being able to do that.
The concert was a way to shed light on the influence of Black pop music and showcase different talent. Group members have also made many worthwhile connections along the way.
Yeah, I've made so many friends along the way, and then just like the connections that I've made.
The group will continue to rehearse for the rest of the semester and will perform again for May. That's all I have, but I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Liz. Now let's send it back to Karch, who's got a look at the week ahead.
Thanks, guys. It's a big weekend here in Iowa City, and weather will be getting better throughout. Friday will feature snow falling in the morning, with highs reaching the high 30s and might slide into the upper 40s. And this weekend, we'll get to experience some good weather, with temps climbing into the mid-50s and maybe even into the 70s as we head into next week. Monday and Tuesday will have some of the best weather we've seen all year, with temps hovering around the upper 60s and highs reaching the low to mid 70s. The sun will be out and shining, with partial clouds decorating the skies early next week. I'll tell you what, guys, we are in for some nice weather this weekend. In fact, I might just take a walk downtown and see if anything's going on. Well, that's the forecast for the rest of the week. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Karch. And Draven, I know the weather has not been a home run this week, but hopefully next week we'll be able to get and go see a couple Iowa baseball games as the season picks up.
Oh yeah, and I'm not the only one hoping for it. But let's send it over to sports with Joel Keller, who's got the rundown on what's already happened in baseball and what's to come.
Yeah, now that the weather is finally warmer, Hawkeye baseball was able to play their home opener on Monday. They battled Loras College, and Chaz Wheatley starred on the mound. He pitched 1 inning, struck out the side. Loras, however, jumped on Bryson Walker, that's Alex Sandoval, who hit a home run for one of their 3 runs of the game. The Hawkeyes, Gable Mitchell singled to center field, and then Reese Moore singled as well to put runners on first and third, and Blake Urin pinch hitting, 2 outs, 1-1 count, hit 7 foul balls and drove one to deep center field and way out of there. A 3-run home run and 4 more runs in the 7th inning would lead to a Hawkeye win 11-3 and would improve their record to 5-6. The Iowa women's basketball team will take on the 14-seed Wisconsin Badgers in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. The Hawkeyes are looking to get their 2nd straight win over the Badgers after beating them on Sunday. If the Hawkeyes take home the W, they will advance to play number 6 Michigan State tomorrow, who they lost to earlier in the season. Iowa is trying to win their 4th consecutive Big Ten tournament this year, and the game will be on Peacock tonight at 7:30. The men's basketball team will host number 8 Michigan State in their final home game of the regular season. Tomorrow is senior night, meaning that 5 senior student athletes will be honored prior to the contest.
Senior days are always emotional for everybody, and the guys, you start to reflect on the entire experience.
Iowa has won the last 2 meetings against Michigan State, but the Spartans will come to Iowa City riding on a 5-game winning streak. Tom Izzo and company will arrive in Iowa City as Big Ten's best, with tip-off set for 7 p.m. The Iowa Hawkeyes men's basketball team has seen a decrease in fan attendance over the last couple of seasons. DITV's Cole Krieger tells us how the marketing team for Hawkeye Athletics is trying to bring back fans to men's basketball games.
Over the past few seasons, the Iowa women's basketball team has sold thousands of tickets, filling out Carver for almost every home game. The same can't be said for the men's team, as their attendance has been declining over the past few seasons.
And they were a catalyst for everything. And so, you don't see that same success in wins and losses necessarily with men's basketball.
Brian and the rest of the marketing team has found this year slightly challenging to market the men's team, but Brian has kept an open mind and has been open to all ideas.
This season's been a real good learning curve for us. We've implemented a lot of new initiatives, efforts, giveaways, things to try and draw student attendance.
The marketing team has implemented new ways to market the men's basketball games that not only benefits the team, but the fans as well, offering $2 beer and pretzels in their game against Oregon.
They were all engaged, they were in the game. That deal started, when doors opened, so an hour and a half before the game, and it ended when tip-off happened.
With just 1 home game remaining this season, fans are encouraged to come out and cheer on the Hawks when they take on the Michigan State Spartans tomorrow night.
So we've kind of got a buy one, get one. So if you've actually bought a ticket already, you can go onto your ticket portal and buy another 2.
The marketing team plans on doing more giveaways next season to ensure that everyone in attendance has a great experience.
We've been doing more and more giveaways, t-shirts, towels, whatever it may be. We're going to continue that and then get a bit more unique in some of those items.
With so many opportunities to promote the Hawkeyes to their fans, it's only a matter of time until these stands behind me are packed to the brim once again. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Cole Krieger, DITV News.
The Hawkeye men's wrestling team is flocking to Evanston, Illinois to battle in the Big Ten Championships. The tournament will kick off this Saturday and will continue on Sunday after a near-perfect season, and the Hawks hope to cement their names in the history this weekend. They're treating it as just another regular match, and head coach Brands is going to challenge his wrestlers to stay disciplined and composed as the competition heats up. Back to you guys. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joel, and thank you so much for tuning in or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM. We'll see you next Friday.